Scorpio, something powerful is about to meet you this Sunday and you will not leave this moment the same. What if I told you that what's coming isn't just a change but a divine appointment set in motion long before you asked for a sign? October 26th isn't just a date on the calendar. It is a spiritual threshold, and if your soul feels like it's on the edge of something, trust that instinct. This video found you for a reason. Right now, your inner world is whispering, pay attention. That feeling of electricity beneath your skin, that flutter in your chest, it's the vibration of alignment. You're standing at the edge of an unseen door, and this Sunday, something destined is preparing to walk through it. The energy around you is shifting, and you're not imagining it. You're not overthinking it. You're receiving it. You've been holding space for so many, carrying your storms in silence. And now, the skies are parting in a way that only Scorpio would notice, not with noise, but with intensity. You're not here to be warned. You're here to be called forward. This is not just a prediction, it's an invitation. The kind of sacred moment that doesn't show up for everyone. And what's coming won't ask for permission, it will arrive suddenly, silently, and yet you'll feel it in your bones. And here's the thing, you're not just meant to receive the surprise that's coming. You're meant to transform with it. The spiritual current leading up to October 26th is charged with the power of the High Priestess, the Tower, and the Star, three sacred archetypes reminding you that truth will rise, old structures will fall, and hope will find a new way to shine through. In astrology, the alignment between Venus and Pluto on this day opens up a channel for karmic release and spiritual rebirth. This video is your mirror. It's your safe space. And yes, your sanctuary. Not because I have the answers, but because you've finally become still enough to hear them. So take a breath. Drop into your body. Be here with me for a little while. I believe in the kind of healing that happens not when we fight, but when we finally stop running. This is your space to reconnect. With your intuition. With the divine. With the version of yourself that's not afraid to believe that peace is possible. That joy is real. That God sees you, even when the world doesn't. You are not forgotten. You are not lost in the algorithm. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a soul that was guided to this very moment because the time is right. You're not late. You're exactly on time. And before we go any further, let me take a moment to thank you deeply for being here. For watching. For liking. For commenting. Every single moment you've spent engaging with this channel helps breathe life into this sacred space we've created together. Your support keeps Miracle of the Sign alive and allows these messages to continue reaching the hearts that need them most. So now let me ask you this. Have you felt something shifting inside you lately, something you can't name, but you know is real? If the answer is yes, write it in the comments. Declare your readiness. Affirm it with the number 888 to anchor it in divine timing. Let your voice mark this moment of alignment. And stay with me until the end, because what the universe is revealing for Scorpio this Sunday is far more than a surprise. It's a spiritual realignment that could unlock the next version of your destiny. Let's go deeper together. Scorpio, the moment we speak of is not a dramatic entrance, it's a vibration. A slow, sacred thrum beneath the surface that's been building, not in noise, but in frequency. October 26th is not just a page on a calendar, it's an energetic imprint chosen long before you had words for your restlessness. And the alignment forming around this date is not just astrological, it's poetic. The moon's passage through Pisces is softly lighting up the 5th house in your chart, the realm of creation, romance, joy, and soul expression. This isn't about performing or pleasing, this is about what your heart has longed to create when no one was watching. Pisces energy asks you to stop grasping and start allowing. And when the moon stirs in this intuitive water sign, it whispers not to the ears, but to the deeper chambers of your spirit. That's why so much feels like it's moving inside you, even if your outer world still appears quiet. Venus, the planet of love and values, now forms a powerful trine with Pluto, your ruling planet, Scorpio. And when these two energies harmonize, something deep and silent uncoils. This is not surface-level change. It's the kind of transformation that occurs when beauty meets shadow, when love meets loss, when you're finally ready to stop carrying what hurt you and begin choosing what frees you. This cosmic conversation between Venus and Pluto is gently breaking open the shell you've worn for protection and letting light touch the parts of you that once only knew survival. This is where elegance meets evolution. This is where softness becomes strength. In the language of the tarot, this moment arrives holding 3 distinct keys: the High Priestess, the Tower, and the Star. These archetypes aren't just cards, they are living energies, reflecting the sacred stages of your spiritual renewal. The High Priestess doesn't shout. She doesn't explain. She simply knows. Her presence right now means your intuition is louder than logic and that silence is not emptiness, but guidance. Trust what you feel in your body, especially when your mind offers no explanation. Then comes the Tower. Often feared, but deeply misunderstood. The Tower doesn't destroy to punish, it clears to realign. If anything in your life has felt like it's crumbling, like truth is crashing into illusion, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's confirmation that the universe is answering a prayer you didn't know you said. Sometimes we ask for healing, but we forget that healing requires release. And this card shows up to say, you're not being torn apart, you're being reset. And then, the Star. Quiet, luminous, and redemptive. She appears after chaos to remind you that there is always light on the other side of surrender. That no matter how much dust you've collected from the fall, your essence remains untouched. This is your soft return. The Star doesn't rush. She restores. And through her, you begin again, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to become. This moment is not about pushing through. It's about choosing presence. It's about standing at the threshold of the invisible and realizing that what waits behind the veil is not a threat, it's a homecoming. And yet, that door will not open unless you say yes. Not to the certainty, but to the unknown. Not to what you control, but to what you are willing to trust. So ask yourself gently, have you felt something shifting in your chest lately, like a quiet invitation rising with every breath? Have you caught yourself staring out the window longer than usual, wondering if something is about to change? That's not anxiety. That's alignment. That's spirit waiting for your permission. If something in you is stirring, speak it. Don't silence your intuition this time. Let it breathe. Let it rise. Let it mark this turning point. And if you're ready, say it out loud or write it in the comments below. I feel it. I trust it. I welcome what's coming. This is how you co-create with the rhythm already unfolding around you. This is how transformation begins. quietly, softly, faithfully. Scorpio, what you are sensing is not confusion, it's spiritual anticipation. That gentle pull in your chest, the quiet restlessness that's been growing louder in your silences, is not here to warn you. It's here to invite you. We often expect divine intervention to arrive with loud signs, grand gestures, or moments so dramatic that we can't miss them. But in truth, transformation usually enters our lives with soft footsteps. It appears in small interactions, a message that arrives just when your heart needed reassurance, a memory that rises to the surface without warning, a stranger's kindness that lingers longer than it should. This is how the universe speaks. Not always in lightning bolts, but often in whispers. And the question isn't whether something is coming, it's whether you'll be still enough to feel it, and open enough to receive it. The energy of this season is not here to demand anything from you. It doesn't want your perfection. It doesn't need your control. What it's asking for is something far more sacred: your presence. You've spent so long being strong for everyone else, holding everything together, wondering if anyone notices the quiet ache you carry behind your resilience. And maybe, in your strongest moments, you forgot that you, too, deserve softness. That you deserve to simply be without needing to earn your place in the light. The moment unfolding now isn't about proving your worth. It's about remembering it. You were already enough, long before the world tried to convince you otherwise. There's a door opening for you, not one you can see with your eyes, but one you feel in your spirit. It won't swing wide with force. It responds to your willingness. Just one shift in your posture, one moment of trust, one breath of surrender, that's all it takes. This isn't about knowing exactly where you're headed. It's about honoring that something greater is at work even when you're not sure what to name it. Sometimes, the most miraculous things begin with nothing more than a yes you whisper to yourself before anything around you confirms it. Let this be the season where you stop waiting for everything to make perfect sense before you let your heart lead. Clarity isn't always the starting point. Often, it's the result of having the courage to move forward even when the path is foggy. You're not being tested. You're being invited. And what awaits you isn't more burden, but blessing. A kind of freedom that comes not from running away, but from standing still long enough to let grace catch up. When we live with intention, we create the space for miracles to take root in the ordinary. It's easy to dismiss a simple message or overlook a quiet inner nudge. But what if the surprise you've been waiting for has already found its way to your doorstep, disguised as a small opportunity, a soft word, a sudden urge to say yes? Will you notice it? Will you open the door? You don't need to understand everything that's happening to trust the timing. You don't need a sign written in the stars to accept what your soul already knows. You only need to allow. To believe that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, and certainly not too late. You are right on time. You are seen. And you are being asked not to perform but to respond. So if your heart is stirring with something you can't explain, that's more than enough. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let it be your first step through that invisible doorway. And if you feel called, say it below. I'm ready to receive the unexpected, even if I don't understand it. Let that be your quiet act of faith, your way of saying yes to what's already unfolding. Scorpio, there comes a moment in every soul's journey where surrender becomes the only path forward, not as a defeat, but as a profound act of healing. You've carried so much, for so long, that even stillness has started to feel like effort. The world may not always see the weight behind your smile or the silent strength you embody, but energy never lies. And while no one may have witnessed your quiet endurance, the universe has been listening all along. This chapter isn't asking you to fight harder or fix yourself. It's inviting you to release the belief that you must hold it all together in order to be worthy of support. Let this be the moment where you give yourself permission to lay it all down: the fears, the expectations, the inner criticism that tells you you're falling behind. You don't have to prove your readiness. You already are. And what's coming isn't for the version of you who's striving, it's for the one who's finally still enough to receive. The energy that surrounds this time is rich with grace, not because you've earned it, but because it's always been waiting for the right moment to reach you. When the heart softens, when the grip on perfection loosens, we begin to see what was never missing, only obscured. And that clarity doesn't shout. It arrives gently, like the hush before sunrise, like the way light slowly returns to a room you didn't realize had gone dim. In astrology, moments like these often align with quiet trines and inner planet movements, those subtle shifts that don't create earthquakes, but that change the very atmosphere you breathe. And that's what's happening now. The spiritual weather is asking you to open, not because it's safe or certain, but because this is where healing begins. In the release. In the choice to trust again, even after disappointment. This isn't about passive hope. It's about active faith. A faith not in some distant force, but in the rhythm of life that has always sustained you. When you stop trying to micromanage the outcomes, when you let go of the idea that healing has to be visible, instant, or dramatic, that's when it begins. Not with fireworks, but with relief. With breath. With a moment of saying, I don't know what's coming, but I'm willing. And sometimes, the most profound answers show up after we've stopped demanding them. When the heart no longer begs for a sign, the world becomes filled with them. A line in a book that speaks directly to your struggle. A stranger's kindness at the exact moment you needed it. A memory that returns not to haunt you, but to remind you how far you've come. These are not coincidences. These are echoes of the sacred. And they often arrive when we are finally still enough to listen. Let this moment be a sanctuary, not one where you perform healing, but one where you allow it. If you've been feeling like everything is too much, that's okay. If you've been tired of pretending you're fine, let this space be where you stop pretending. You are allowed to be exactly as you are and still be moving toward transformation. Ask yourself now, with honesty and tenderness, what are you still holding that no longer serves you? What burden could you set down, if only for a moment, to feel what it's like to be free again? If something comes to mind, even faintly, write it down. Not for the world, but for you. Let it be the start of something sacred. And if you're ready, say it, I'm no longer trying to control everything. I open my heart to receive. Because sometimes, the miracle isn't what you get. It's who you become when you stop resisting the grace that's been waiting for you all along. Scorpio, when we talk about divine timing, we often speak in symbols, in the quiet language of numbers and color, vibration and rhythm. And for October 26th, the energy is speaking in no uncertain terms. In numerology, this day reduces to the number 9, a number that arrives not to start something new, but to honor what is coming to a sacred close. 9 is the final digit before the cycle begins again at 1. It is not an end in the way the world defines ending. It is a culmination. A deep exhale. A rite of passage from who you've been into who you're becoming. This energy invites you to look at what has quietly reached completion in your life. Where have you outgrown a mindset, a dynamic, a version of yourself? Where are you being called to release something not because it's failed, but because its purpose has been fulfilled? Number 9 is often misunderstood as loss, when in truth, it is a portal into grace. It whispers of soul maturity, of stepping out of survival patterns and into conscious freedom. It holds the energy of forgiveness, not as a gift to others, but as liberation for yourself. This is the moment when you realize you don't have to carry the entire story forward, only the wisdom. 9 doesn't rush. It softens. It teaches you that letting go is a spiritual strategy, not an emotional failure. And if you've been sensing that something is ready to be released, a relationship, a belief, a role you've long outgrown, this is not coincidence. This is alignment. On October 26th, the universe is gently asking you to close the chapter, not with fear, but with reverence. And just beyond that closing, something new is already forming, not as a dramatic explosion, but as a quiet recentering of who you are. Just as numbers speak, so do colors. Not in words, but in frequencies. And this particular portal opens with 3 vibrational allies: sapphire black, soft white, and metallic gold. Each of them holds a subtle power that can help stabilize, guide, and awaken you through this inner transition. Sapphire black is the anchor. It's not the darkness of fear, but the depth of presence. It grounds your energy when things around you are shifting. When worn or visualized, it connects you to the unshakable part of your soul, the part that knows what to release and what to protect. This is the color of sacred boundaries, of holding space for your process without needing anyone else to validate it. Soft white is the energy of sanctuary. It calms the nervous system, clears energetic clutter, and reminds you that safety is something you can cultivate from within. If you've been feeling emotionally exposed or overwhelmed, let this color hold you like a warm breath. It invites you into spiritual rest, not because you're giving up, but because you're coming home to stillness. And then there's metallic gold, the frequency of divine clarity. This isn't just about abundance in the material sense. It's about knowing. Gold resonates with spiritual sovereignty, with the sacred intelligence that lives inside your intuition. When visualized in meditation or worn as a gentle accent, it helps you remember the promises the universe made to you long before you doubted your path. You don't need to wear these colors to access their frequency. Simply sitting with them, meditating with their image, or even keeping them in your awareness can begin to shift your inner field. These are tools, not rules. Let them meet you where you are. Now take a moment and ask yourself, what color are you drawn to right now? The answer might seem small, but it's often in those quiet choices that the universe speaks most clearly. Your attraction may not be random, it could be the voice of your intuition nudging you toward the vibration you need most right now. And if you feel that pull, don't ignore it. Instead, write it down in the comments, the color that's calling you, paired with the sacred number 888. Let that be your signal to the universe, your way of saying, I'm tuning in. Because frequency is a conversation, and your energy is already speaking. Scorpio, this is your moment to participate, not just in reflection, but in gentle, conscious creation. What's arriving on October 26th is not merely something to witness. It's something that wants your presence, your openness, and your willingness to engage with it in a meaningful way. You're not being asked to force change. You're being invited to anchor ithro intention, through breath, through small but sacred action. The ritual is simple, yet deeply transformative. Take a few quiet minutes to write down this affirmation in your own handwriting, with full attention to your breath as you do so. I don't need to understand everything. I only need to trust. I am ready. Then, write the number 888 just beneath it. Let that number serve as a symbolic signature, a code that carries the energy of divine flow, soul return, and sacred compensation for all you've endured quietly. This is not superstition, it's frequency. What we write, we crystallize. And what we affirm, we magnetize. Your energy is already preparing to shift. But embodiment is the key to integration. And so, from the lens of energetic self-care, let's ground this moment with some practical soul-aligned guidance that meets you where you live, body, mind, and spirit. When it comes to your health, your nervous system is your guide. You may feel more psychically open or emotionally permeable in the days surrounding this transition. Honor that sensitivity by slowing down your caffeine intake, replacing it with calming herbal teas like chamomile or lemon balm, and giving yourself the gift of quality rest. Try the 4-4-4-4 breath technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 4, rest for 4 to bring coherence to your energy field when the world feels loud or uncertain. This isn't about being productive. It's about being restored. In your work life, clarity may feel elusive, especially if you've been operating from a place of obligation rather than inspiration. Instead of spiraling into guilt or self-judgment, take a step back. Pause the pushing. Create a soft space where you can ask yourself, how do I want to feel each morning when I begin my workday? Write down 3 feelings, not tasks, not goals, but emotional frequencies like peace, creative flow, or meaningful contribution. Let these be your compass as you navigate forward. Financially, the invitation is to shift from stress-driven control into values-based vision. What do you want money to give you, not just in numbers, but in emotions? Freedom, safety, generosity, empowerment. Instead of waiting for the perfect time to fix your finances, begin where you are. Create a simple 3-month plan that reflects your true priorities, not just your bills. When your financial choices match your soul's values, prosperity begins to feel more like alignment and less like pressure. And in love, perhaps the most tender territory of all, you are being asked to remember that ease is not laziness. Peace is not boring. You don't have to prove yourself to be worthy of connection. If someone can't see your value without you overextending, they were never meant to receive the fullness of your heart. This is your moment to stop chasing and start allowing. Start choosing yourself in the spaces where you once shrunk to fit. You don't need a dramatic reinvention. You just need one small, sacred act that says, I am ready to meet this shift with both trust and intention. So ask yourself gently, what's one aligned action I can take today to honor October 26th as a turning point in my life? It could be lighting a candle, turning off your phone, writing a letter you never send, saying no when your heart whispers not this. Whatever it is, choose it with care. Then, if you feel called, share it below, because words are energy, and when you speak them out loud, you turn potential into movement. Let the shift begin with you. Scorpio, You don't need anyone to validate your readiness. The fact that you're here still watching, still present, still listening is already the sign that your time has come. You found this message not by chance, but because something in your soul aligned with the frequency of what was spoken. And now, your only task is to allow. Allow the unfolding. Allow the transformation. Allow the unexpected. October 26th is not just another Sunday. It's a portal. A tap on the shoulder from the universe itself. It doesn't need to shout to be real. It just needs to be recognized. And the moment you choose to believe, not because you've seen the proof, but because you've heard the quiet call, that's the moment everything begins to shift. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle in motion. The path forward doesn't require a perfect plan, it only asks for your willingness to take the first small step. To breathe into your truth. To honor your timing. To return home to yourself. Whatever is coming may not look like what you expected. But it will feel like something true. Not because it changes you, but because you'll finally let yourself begin. Begin again. Begin real. Begin free. You don't have to force the change. You only have to stop resisting the invitation to become who you were always meant to be. So I ask you now, gently but clearly, what would happen if you stopped holding back? What would open for you if you no longer waited to be ready, and instead chose to say yes in this very moment? What would your life feel like if you trusted the rhythm instead of fearing the silence? Let this be the moment you answer that question with action. Not a grand gesture, but a small declaration. A ripple of energy that reaches beyond this screen. If your heart is stirring, if your intuition is nodding softly, say it below. Write in the comments, I am ready to receive the unexpected on October 26th. Add the sacred number 888 to anchor your intention in the energetic flow of divine timing, soul return, and sacred restoration. And if something in you was awakened today, if this message helped you feel seen, grounded, or guided, and keep it to yourself. Like this video to affirm your energy is activated. Subscribe to Miracle of the Sign, the sacred space where God, energy, and destiny meet. Thank you for your presence. Truly. Every like, every comment, every second you spend here helps this healing energy ripple further into the world. You are not alone. You are not behind. You are right on time. And remember, it's not the world that makes this moment sacred, it's you. Because you said yes. Because you opened the door. Because you are the portal through which the miracle is coming. Let the rest unfold. You are ready.